Hello all members, I welcome you to this C and C++ Aptitude preparation workshop. This is the day 1 and we are starting this session with the question 1. It's a hash include. First we type the basic structure of C language, and now here I'm typing the first one code for you. The variable A I created, as well as I created the variable B, and now here I'm typing printf /n addition is equal to %d, comma, and now I type size of A plus size of B. So I explain you about this question. Here the size of is function to return memory size required, memory size required, memory size required for a variable. So here I'm doing addition of memory size of A and memory size of B. A is an integer variable, B is a float variable. So A requires 2-byte memory space, B requires 4-byte memory space, and I'm doing the addition. So the answer I expect 2 plus 4 as a 6-byte. Depends on the compiler, memory size vary. So there are different data types, like integer is a data type, and integer requires 2-byte memory, and it ranges from -3 to 768 to +3 to 767. As well, long is another data type, requires 4-byte of memory, which ranges from -2148473648 up to +2148473647. Float is another data type, require 4-byte memory, and the range is from -3.4 e raised to 38 up to plus 3.4 into e raised to 38. Now here we are discussing about memory size. So here the note you keep in mind, as you change the compiler, the memory size also vary. Changing compiler changes the memory size of variable. So I'm using dev C++ compiler. Okay, so this dev C++ integer requires 4-byte memory, and long requires 4-byte memory. Float also requires 4-byte memory. If you use DOSBox, then in DOSBox integer requires only 2-byte memory. If you go for Turbo C++, then Turbo C++ requires 2 bytes memory for integer. So when you apply for any campus interviews, then while you solve the programming questions, and then if they are asking about the size of particular variable, then you be sure about which version of compiler you're using. Their versions are GCC 3, GCC 2, like this. There are different versions. So they first give you a choice on which version you want to solve. So accordingly, you can choose your answers. So here the answer this compiler will print as 4 plus 4, 8 bytes. Let's check the output. I save this program in the particular folder. So let me go for one folder. I already created this one, and here I save this as question 1, and let me run this program. So I saved already. I'm clicking on compile, and then here I click run. See this output. Maybe the output window is not visible to you, so let me check the output. I share you the screen once again. So now, now my window is visible to you, and I click compile, and I'm clicking on this run option. So now you are able to see my screen, the command prompt. It is showing you the answer addition as 8. So this is my first question, and I hope my speed, my voice is clear and audible to you. Your feedback you can give me in the chat box as well. If any doubts, you can interrupt and ask me questions as well. I save this question, and I go ahead for question number 2. So here we will discuss on one another program, that is, let's say if I give you a float variable as marks 1 is equal to 90.43. After that, if I'm typing float marks 2 is equal to 8.34, and after that I here type a float answer variable is equal to floor in the bracket marks 1 plus sale in the bracket marks 2, and I here print the values. Marks 1 is equal to percent point to f slash t, marks 2 is equal to percent point to f, and answer is equal to percent lf, where lf is identifier for double data type. I here print the variables marks 1, marks 2, and answer. So here I explain you about this question. Now the float, it's a data type to store decimal values. The next is double, also used to store decimal values. Data type to store decimal values longer than float. Range of float variable is, you can store 7 digit number and 6 precisions. For example, you can store number like 864.6 zeros. Here in the double data type, the range for this double data type is 12 digit numbers and 15 precisions. The example for this double data type is, you can store a big number like this. You can store big number with total 15 precisions. Okay, I just give 2, but you can give 15 precisions. About float, %lf, %f is identifier. %f is identifier, and percent point to f meaning is print only 2 precisions. Print only 2 precisions. Peoples who joined just this meeting, I welcome you. I started this meeting exactly 9 a.m. and I covered only one question. I give an introduction to the basics, and now I'm on question number 2. So you can send me hello message in the chat box just to verify your app working correctly or not. I continue. The double data type %lf is identifier, and the same percent point to lf meaning is print only 2 precisions. Now the next thing is, what is floor? Floor is function from math.h header file. Math.h header file. Floor converts roundups any decimal value to previous integer. For example, if you type floor in the bracket 4.7, then it returns answer only 4. So it actually round ups the value to previous integer. And about another one function called sale. Sale is exactly opposite to floor function. Sale is function from math.h header file, round ups any decimal value to next integer. Now here in the sale, if you type 4.7, then sale returns answer 5. So referring these notes, you can answer if I'm typing floor marks 1 plus sale marks 2, 90.43, floor makes it 90, 8.34, sale makes 9. So addition, it prints in the type double as percent point to LF. Answer, I expect 98. Let's save this question. Question number 2.c. Now I here click compile and then I click run. So this prints the answer 99. So what I told you, floor makes this as round up 90. Sale makes this as next integer, that is 9. So 90 plus 9, I'm getting the correct answer 99. I'm moving on next question, and here is the question number 3. Here first we type the simple structure of C program, and then we will write a question here. So another one very basic question to you is, let's say here I declare a variable of type integer and I'm typing number. So number is 8. The next line, I create a float variable as again number, but I start it with underscore number and I store value 4.5. After that, here I print slash n integer is equal to percentage f comma number, and after that I print slash n float is equal to percent d comma underscore number. So I give you some options. Option 1 is redeclaration. It will print error redeclaration of variable. Maybe you are thinking on error declaration variable declaration wrong at line number 13 float underscore number. Maybe you are thinking option number 3 as it will print integer as 4. It will print the output integer is equal to 4 and float is equal to 8.0. 8.0. Maybe you are thinking the answer. It will print the output as integer is equal to 4.000 and the float answer is equal to, it prints only 8. So let me know your choice, and I also discuss this program with explanation. Let me one do change integer. The last one I actually want to ask you the output as 0 and 0. So you use your chat box to answer this question. and I also explain you about this program. So the first one note is underscore is valid symbol, valid exceptional symbol in variable declaration. This is the first point. So the variable declaration is correct. Secondly, if you print float value in using identifier percent %d, then it prints 0. Third thing, if you print integer value using float, using %f, using %f, then it prints, then it prints or produce 0. Okay, because the identifiers not match the type of variable. So of course the answer I expect option number 4. It prints the answer 0 0. I save this, I click compile, and this is question number 3. So this prints the answer 0 and 0. So this is the answer. We'll move on the next question. We covered question number 3, and now here is question number 4. Question number I type at the line 1, question number 4, and the question is, let's say a variable created in the type integer as a is equal to 19 and b is equal to 8. Here I am typing if 1, then a is equal to 88 and b is equal to 12. If again I am typing 1 is equal to 1, I here type a is equal to 3 and b is equal to 7, and then I'm asking you answer a plus b. So here I type printf /n a is equal to %d /t b is equal to %d and /t answer is equal to %d comma abc comma ab answer. So this workshop I divided in 4 different sections. Every day I divided this into 4 different sections. The first section is basics. Second section is logical. Third section is complex. And fourth section is more than complex. Now I am in first section, basics. We cover 5 questions basics, then again 5 questions logical, 10 questions complex, and 5 questions more than complex. So let me know your answer in the chat box. This is the question. I'm typing a is 19, b is 8. The if I'm typing condition as 1, here I also check a condition 1 is equal to 1. Later I'm checking this one, and then I produce the output a plus b. I give you some options as well. Option 1 is uh, if condition not meets syntax, this may be error. Second option is output a is equal to 3, b is equal to 7, and addition is equal to 10. Other option I give you 3, output will be a is equal to 88, b is equal to 12, and addition is equal to prints 100. And option number 4, error compilation error for for reassignment of variables. Reassignment of variables. So you can answer this question through chat box. So many people's you joined this meeting. So I really happy to see you in this meeting, and I hope my voice clear to you, and as well you also enjoying this session. My session speed is also matching to you. Now you can use the chat box and type your answers. Maybe you are new to this field, but still you can try, you can opinion your answers. So this is not a real exam. We are just uh, practicing these questions to be good, and try to be very good to answer these questions while attending the campus apti and interviews. So here I'm getting many answers as 2, means option 2. A is 3, B is 7, and addition as 10. So let's check the output. I here click compile, then click run. So the answer variable not declared. This is my mistake. And then I click compile and then click run. So this produced the answer 10. So these are the 4 questions. Now one another question I like to ask you, and I give one explanation about this line number 11. So when you type if one, meaning is one stands true, one stands true, and 0 stands false. So you always remember this. If you are writing a condition 1 is equal to 1, meaning is check condition, check 1 is exactly match other 1. So if it is, then it is true. It's so simple. I save this and then I'm moving on. Question number 5. So here I'll discuss a one very interesting code. A given function that integer, a given function that integer do multiplication, do multiplication, and in the bracket I pass n1 and n2. So this function here returns multiplication of n1 and n2, multiplication of n1 and n2. Now what I'm doing here is I'm calling this do multiplication as a function. So I pass the two numbers 3, 4. But what I'm doing here is now a new type of function to you is here I type the do multiplication 1 again with 1 and 8, and here I call one more time do multiplication. I cut this first one function, pass to this function parameter, and separating with comma I pass once again to this function, and here I collect my answer. So what do you think? Is it correct? Means this way can I write expression in C language to perform calculations using function where parameters are the same function. So here I write my answers. Printf answer is equal to %d comma answer. So the option I give you, option 1 is it will produce the output as 20. Option 2 is syntax error. Option 3 is 0. and option 4 is function definition cannot return function cannot return integer. So here I'm getting some answers as syntax error. Other people's also trying to answer, and specifically I explain you about function while you're answering this question. So here function can return only one value at a time. This is the first rule of function. Second thing is function can return any type of values. Third thing is function parameters can be of type integer or float or character. Any you can pass any parameters, any number of parameters to function. And importantly, one more, uh, function prototype if match with function call, then you can pass and write arguments, any values to function. So here is the same case happening. I'm typing the do multiplication here also, here also. So when I call this function, it returns me answer 12. Here I'm calling one more time, it answers me 8. So the answers 12 and 8 are the parameters for the parent function. So it calls the same and it answers you 12 plus 8 as 20. I save this code as question number 5.c. After that I click compile and then I click run. So check this. It is showing me the answer as 96, because here the 12, I'm doing the multiplication 12 and do multiplication is 8. So 12 into 8 is 96, not the 20. Okay. So I done mistakenly addition, but it's multiplication. So the answer correct is 96. I save this question and I move ahead. Question number 6 is now logical question. We'll start logical section now. I am now explain you and as well question you about the operators. Very importantly, in campus interviews, the apti mostly they ask about the operators. So here is the question for you. Let's say I'm calling a function called first, then I call second, then as well I call third. Here I declare variables as well. I write integer f is equal to first, integer s is equal to second, integer t is equal to third. Here the function definitions, and the mostly functions used in the questions. So you must be uh, expert in the topic function. So here is the question. Integer first, in the bracket I write return 11. Another here is integer second, and here I'm typing return first divided by 3. And then here is the one more third, and it is return second plus first. So here I given some functions, I calling them one by one, and now I'm asking you one answer. Here it is integer answer is equal to, I'm typing f plus s plus t, f plus s plus t, left shift operator 2. I'm typing f plus s plus t, left shift operator 2. I save this question number 6 dot c. So let me know how many of you are thinking this is too much challenging to solve. So you can type your feedback in the chat box. So now I'm starting this discussion, and the functions part is the definition part. After that, I'm calling the functions. Here we are doing the calculations. So first we will discuss about the first function. So this is straightforward. This function returns you 11. Another one is the second function. This returns you first upon 3, meaning is 11 upon 3. The first note for you is any function can call any another function. Second is here the first upon 3 meaning is 11 upon 3. So 11 upon 3 will be 3 only. So if you do 11 upon 3, it will produce, check this output. If I'm typing 11 upon 3, this produces the answer 3.66. The float answer is 3.66, but because of integer division, answer will be only 3. Answer will be only 3. So many students, they fail at this line when any question comes with integer division. So they consider the answer is 3.66, but actually the answer is only 3. Okay, so the first returns answer 11, second line returns answer as 3. Now what is about third line? You're just doing the addition. So here 3 plus 11, the answer will be 14. Now you do the addition. Here you are getting 11. The secondly you here call the function and get the answer 3. And the next is you are getting as 14. So if you are doing the addition, 11 plus 3 is 14, plus 14 is 28, and here the operator is left shift operator 2. Okay, so this produces the answer 11 plus 3 14, and plus 14 is 28. Now the challenge comes is, what is this less than less than? So don't read it as less than less than. This is left shift bitwise operator. This is left shift bitwise operator. But how it works? So here I keep some basics of the binary operations. So let's calculate 2 raised to 5, 2 raised to 4, 2 raised to 3, 2 raised to 2, 2 raised to 1, and 2 raised to 0. So here the 2 raised to 5 is 32, 2 raised to 4 is 16, 2 raised to 3 is 8, 2 raised to 2 is 4, 2 raised to 1 is 1, and 2 raised to 0 is 1. Here it is 2. Now we will calculate the binary operation. So here I am getting the addition as 28. So make the addition of such numbers which produce the output 28. So if I type 16 plus 8, then it is 24, plus 4 is 28. So the remaining you write 0. This is 11100. Now you are doing the binary left shift operator. That means you are shifting these numbers to 2 bits at the left side. Let me write one more here binary number, that is 2 raised to 6. We will add here one more 2 raised to 6, and this is 64. So if you shift these numbers, to the left side by 2 bits, then this will produce a new number 64 plus 32 plus 16. So let's calculate what is 64 plus 32 plus 16. The answer is 112. So let's run this code and check the output. Here we'll printf slash n. First is equal to %d, second is equal to %d, third is equal to %d, and then the next line I here print answer slash n. Answer is equal to %d comma answer. So here I print first, second, third as well. Here you declare one another variable as answer already declared. Okay, good. Save this code, click compile, and if I execute, so check this, it produced 11 3 14 and the answer is 112. So this is how you can calculate and print the answer. So I hope you understood this logic, how it works, and accordingly, if you face such challenges in the real examples while attending any uh, interview or apti, so then you can consider reference this example and solve the question. So if you are not clear about this question, let me know in the chat box. I explain you different way. So this is the question number 6 and I'm moving on question number 7. Here I first type the basic syntax and then we will continue for the question. So this is a bit challenging question but logical as well. So this is what, if I ask you to take three integer numbers between between 65 to 90 from user on separate lines. Next is print character at that position. Print character at that position if three numbers are not in range 65 to 90, then print error invalid number. If all numbers are correct, then you can print that particular character at the position. Here given sample input. If you type the numbers 66, 67 and 68, then it should produce the output as B, C and D. But this is the case 1. Okay, this is the case 1. But what if you type the numbers as 93, 64 and 65? So the output will be like this. The 93 is wrong, so here you print invalid number, but for 64 it is also invalid number, and but for 65 you print A. So like this, the expected answer. This is the question for you, and now we will solve this question. Let me keep this on the top of the page so we can here easily write the logic. Okay, I hope you understood the question. So we write just the comments, multi-line comments like this. Question number 7. And now here I am trying a logic. Okay, so we'll try here a logic. So let's create a variable, like array variable I'm taking with, I'm trying my best logic to solve this question. So I'm using array concept, array of 3. So here you ask user 3 numbers. So like this, I is equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus. How many you are uh, solved the algorithms, array algorithms, searching and sorting? You can comment your answers, yes or no, like bubble sort, selection sort, merge sort, quick sort, linear search, binary search. Okay, so here is I is equal to 0 to I less than 3, I plus plus. And now here I'm asking user to enter the numbers. So many people they are saying yes. Okay, so good. I here type array of I and check this. User can enter 3 numbers, right? After that, I here check a condition. How to check condition? So that number should be between 65 to 90 only. So what I will do, I write a code here, another for loop code. Let me print a title as output, and to the next line, I is equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus. I check condition, the value of array of I is greater than or equal to 65, and value of array of I is less than or equal to 90. Then what? Print the character at that position. So already the user is entering the ASCII codes. So you can print ASCII characters like this, slash n percent %c comma array of I. So where array of I is actually integer, but when you print percent %c, then it will produce the character output. So let me keep here a comment. If you print any integer in percent %c identifier, using percent %c identifier, then it produce ASCII, it produce, or let's say it prints ASCII character. Okay, here are the ASCII range. For capital A to capital Z, ASCII range is 65 to 90. For small a to small z, range is 97 to 122. For the digits in the type character 0 to 9, it is 48 to 57. And for the symbols, it's a big range, minus 128 to 47, 58 to 64, 91 to 96, and 123 to 127. Okay, I appreciate your active participation in this workshop. Your properly answering as well, your responding my questions in the chat box. So that's nice of you, and keep this up. So you can feedback my session questions as well. If you have any suggestion, you can tell me in the chat box. So we will keep continue the discussion on these aptitude questions. So these are the notes. I save this question as question number 7.c. Now here it is. The logic, I'm trying to print this output. But what if the range is not between the particular range, that 65 to 90? So that only we will print the answer as invalid number like this. Okay, so let's check the output. Click compile. I variable not created. Okay, so I create that variable. I save this question. Now here one more problem with the spelling of print. Somewhere I'm writing the wrong spelling of printf. Line number 30 I corrected. Click compile and now click run. So let's input the numbers 65, 66 and 67. So this prints correct one, A, B, C. Let's try one more, 91, 64 and 65. So this prints also correct, invalid number, and capital A. Perfect. So let me know you understood or not. Okay. I'm moving on. Next question. Question number 8. Question number 8. And while you attempting any logical questions or any kind of actually questions for the apti rounds, okay, so that online compilers, they are actually passing some test cases. 10 test cases they pass, and if your any of test case goes fail, then they not consider your logic. So they remark you that your logic is wrong. So all that test cases must be correct. So you always write a logic that meets the exact output, exact input as well. So don't write their labels like enter first number, enter second number. Okay. What I tried here is this. See the input, the case 1, 66, 66, 67, 68, then the 93, 64, 65. How they ask you the inputs, how how they expect the output. So exactly you match this syntax. Okay. And then they are passing the test cases. Maybe they pass here instead of 66, 67, maybe they pass here some other numbers. So your logic should match as well with the output. So remember this thing. We'll move on. Question number 8. Okay. Question number 8. This is also the similar question. Consider array given to you. That array is in type character, and its sample is equal to sample of blank is equal to, I'm typing some characters like Y, then is R, then is O, then is A, and then is V, some characters. Okay. So question here is convert characters from array sample to capital case only if it is not at odd array positions. Okay. Only if it is not at odd array positions. So here the array positions are 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So array positions are 0 to n minus 1. So what you consider, the 0 is the first position and it is a odd position. 1 is the second position, it is the even position. 2 is the odd position. 3 is the even position, right? So they are all the characters, and your task is only to convert and print array in the format of capital case. So here we write a code hash include stdio.h. If you try producing this output with using function, so your logic considered more effective, more optimal solution. So always try write a function and print the answers. Now here the sample array is given. I take this as it is for my input, and then what? Then is here I write a function that convert characters as a function name. I pass that sample as a variable, and then here I write this function void convert characters. I take that input character sample characters as an array, and here I type a for loop I from 0 to I less than 5 I plus plus. So how to escape the odd positions? I take I mod 2 is equal to 0. So I'm not checking the number is even or not. This is the index number. So the first position is always the odd position. So I'm typing the 0 mod to produce the output 0. 0 equal to 0 is true. That means the position is odd. So here we write a code logic sample character of I is equal to sample character of I plus 32 only if it is small character. Okay, so I try a condition that sample character of I if it is greater than or equal to 97 and sample character of I if it is less than or equal to 122, then only I'll say this is a small character. I already told in the last example what are the ASCII codes for capital and small characters. So here is the logic. I'm checking the entered character is between 97 to 122 or not. Then only I make a change. Consider this first one. The ASCII character is Y and the ASCII code is 121. So 121 it should be minus 121 minus 32. Check this. What is 121 minus 32? So this give you the value 89 and this 89 is nothing but capital Y. So you store it to the proper location. So already if it is capital letter, let's say already if it is capital letter, then you don't convert that letter, because if you make the minus 32 then it will print something wrong. Okay, the capital E ASCII code is 69 and if it is already capital and still if you make a subtraction of 32, so it will produce a wrong output. That's why the condition should be there to check the character if it is small character as well as if it is at the odd positions, then only make the changes. So now I print the answer here. My output is for I from 0 to I less than 5, I plus plus, and to the next line, I print slash n percent %c, comma, sample of I. So if you notice, I'm passing the array variable to function. The variable names are different. Okay, so the note for you is the function parameter name and argument name may be same or not be same. Okay, so there is no rule that should be different or like this. Another thing is passing array to function. Passing array function is a reference argument. Is a reference argument. Meaning is changes in function parameter, changes in function argument will affect on function parameters, so here I'm passing this array. So if I make any changes in the argument, it also affects the parameter variable. So if I'm making changes in this variable, it also changes this variable. Now let's check the output, but declare the variables, required variables. The I variable is required variable. I also declare this. Let me save this question first. Question number it's 8.c, and now here I save this question and the variable also I declare inside the function. So let's compile and check the output. This produce the correct answer. Odd positions, if you check, they are all capital and E already capital. That's why I escape that character to make the subtraction of 32. I hope you understood this logic, how it works, and similarly you can solve the challenging questions. Okay, so I'm moving on the question number 9, and this question number 9 is let me write this stdio.h, then I'm writing the main function, and here is the question starts. You given a one pointer integer star p1 and integer star p2. Let me know how many members you know pointer, how it works, and if you are very beginner in pointer, you can message me as your beginner. Okay, don't worry, I'm explaining very briefly. So here let's say the two variables number one and number two, where number one is 100 and number two is 50. So here I type p1 is equal to address of number one and p2 is equal to address of number two. Okay, then here I write a one equation, answer is equal to star p1 plus number one plus plus, it is in a bracket, and then another here is again plus star p2 minus minus star p2 minus minus upon number 2 like this plus plus number 2. So this is the question to you, and let me here write a one line slash n, number 1 is equal to percent d, number 2 is equal to percent d slash t, star p1 is equal to percent d and star p2 is equal to percent d. Then I print answer is equal to percent d. So let's write all the numbers, number 1, number 2, then is the star p1 star p2 and answer. Okay, so let's here I write number 1, number 2, star p1 p2 and answer. One question from Rehan, that is last question, line number 17, how it works. So Rehan, let me complete this question and I'll discuss your question. I save this question, question number 9 dot c. So here is the question, and now check how it works. Okay, so let me show you using drawing. I created two variables, one is a means number 1 and another is number 2. So the memory address, just consider any random address, and here is the first variable a or that number 1 reference, store the reference of this address. Second one variable number 2, store the reference of this address. So the numbers are 100 and 50. Now I type here, this is 100 and this is 50 like this. I created the two pointer variables. One is the star p1 and second is the star p2. So they store the two different references. Okay, the first reference they hold number 1 and the second reference they hold number 2. Question given to you is check what is the answer. So here I explain you how it works. Okay, let's check how it works. So first go for the star p1. Now what is star p1? Star p1 and number 1 both are pointing to the same memory address, that's why the value is 100. So I take that value as 100 in the bracket, plus number 1 plus plus, that meaning is postfix operation. So in the postfix operation, you first take that proper number, but remember to update that number. Okay, so I'm changing this number as 101. First I get that number in the expression and then I increment it to 101. After that I here type plus the star p2 minus minus. So this is the postfix operation. So in postfix operation I told you, first take the number and then make changes. So I make this as 49. Nextly I divide this number by postfix number 2. So this is the prefix, plus plus number 2 is the prefix operation. In prefix operation, don't take the number first. In prefix operation, you first change the number, it increments by 1 and becomes 50, then here I take that as a 50. Now solve this question. So here I am getting 100 plus 100, 200, then 50 upon 50 is 1 and answer will be 201. So let's go and check the answer. I save this code, click compile, and answer is not declared. Okay, so let's declare a variable answer, click compile, and then click run, and it produce the answer as 201. So this way you can solve the question. I save this question, compile, and run this code. So you are getting the answer as 101, 50, 101, 50, and 201. I close this and let's go for a new question. Question number 10. So here is the question number 10. First type the header file hash include stdio void main, and then I write here a variable of type string character s1 like this. S1 is equal to, I type hello, and then character s2 is equal to welcome. So here I call a method called strcmp. I'm typing s1 comma s2. So this produce the integer output. Okay, this produce the integer output. So here I type integer output is equal to, and I'm right here line slash n output is equal to %d comma output comma output. I also include header file as string.h. Save this code. Question number 10.c. Now I explain you what is strcmp. strcmp is string.h header file library function compares two strings and returns 0 if two strings are same. Otherwise returns non-zero value. Otherwise returns non-zero value. Okay. So how it works, I show you. I first execute this code. Hello and welcome, they are two different strings. So check this. Hello and welcome, they are different. That's why it will produce non-zero output. So it's showing you -1. But why -1? If I type capital A and capital A, they both are same. So this will produce the output as 0. But if you write A and B, it will produce answer -1. If you write B and A, it will produce answer +1. If you write A, B, C, A, B, C, and if you write A, B, D, then check it produce -1. But if you write A, B, D and A, B, C, this will produce the +1. So depends on what it actually prints 1, -1 and 0. So you compare the first one pair of character. So is it same? Yes. Go ahead. Is it same? Yes. So compiler if found the characters are different, then compiler is subtracting the ASCII codes. So D is the ASCII code 68, C is the ASCII code 67. So 68 minus 67 is 1. But what if it is A? Is it the output 68 minus 65 means 3? No. If the addition comes any positive value, it will print 1. If the answer comes any negative number, still it will print -1. So keep this logic in the mind and you can identify the answer. So check this. If I print, so I'm getting the answer as only 1, even if the difference is 3. So for any positive difference, it prints 1. Any negative difference, it will print -1. So this session, I covered total 1 total 10 questions, and the remaining all the questions I send you through the PPT files, and you can study them with your best logic. The next session I'm going to cover such many challenging questions.